안녕.
I'm sick.
I can't go out. I'm sick.
I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, but I've been holding back because I was hoping that I would not sound like this anymore, but I've still been sick for like the past couple of days, so just deal with it. I have a lot of Chinese friends that are also into anime, manga, and like shipping culture and all that stuff. So naturally, we end up having a lot of conversations around what ships we like, our favorite characters, and things of that nature. And I like to ask them a lot about what it's like in Eastern fandom spaces because I've always been interested about the difference between what happens in Western fandom versus what happens in Eastern fandom in like Japanese, Chinese, Korean, stuff like that. And there was a lot of fascinating differences that I had no idea about, some that like I already knew and others that completely spun me. Fuck. Disclaimer, this is just information that I gathered from multiple conversations with my Chinese friends, so take everything I say with a grain of salt or whatever. I'm not speaking for the entire Chinese or Eastern fandom. This is just like 5 people that I've spoken to and things that I've also seen myself from lurking in these spaces, you know? Okay, so with that out of the way, y'all know what OCs are, right? OC is the abbreviation, oh my god. OC is the abbreviation of original characters or own character. And I personally separate OCs into 2 categories. One is the fandom inspired OC. So having an OC that's based from an already existing fictional world. So like having an OC based off of Naruto, My Hero Academia, Marvel, anything. And then the second category is having completely original OCs that aren't based off of an already existing fictional world. So they have their own universe and you have their own world built for them. Or maybe they just exist for the artist to draw them in whatever scenario they want. There aren't really rules to this. Now you might be asking yourself, what the fuck do OCs got shit to do with shit? Hold on, I'm getting there.
Well, hold on on that. Hold on. Now, hold on. I'm not gonna say that. Hold on.
From my time being in fandom spaces, OCs have been a huge part of it, especially fandom inspired OCs. The amount of My Hero Academia OCs that I've seen, the amount of OC fanfiction I've also read, yeah. It's basically a canon event for artists to create an OC based off of their favorite anime and then proceed to draw them into every scene and every scenario involving the canon characters or ships that they have with the main character. I also love when people word vomit about their OCs or when they have an entire Instagram page solely dedicated to this one character. Or when they include them in their fan fictions or when they draw a whole ass comic about them. Yes, tell me everything. I want to know their whole lore. Now, I used to think that every fandom, especially anime fandom spaces, had this common interest in inserting their OCs whenever they can. But apparently, for Chinese fans, it's not really a thing. At least that's what my friends said. Especially the part about shipping your OC with like a canon character. Apparently, that's not very common and it's weird. Because when I was telling my friend about the endless OC lore that I have and how I shipped him with 2 characters because I couldn't decide on one, she paused for a moment and looked at me with a rather perplexed expression. What? I too paused and stared at her with the same perplexion on my face. You ship your OCs with the characters? She asked. Now we're both looking at each other like the other one is crazy. This is when she proceeded to explain to me that the self-insert culture of OCs isn't very common, at least not to her. And if I were to rock up with my OC X Naruto X Sasuke fan art, I would be getting not even a side eye, but a point blank stare. Like, they take their ships so seriously in a way that's so hilariously different from what I've personally seen in Western fandoms, but I'll get to that soon. I'm really curious to know if this lack of self-insert OC culture also happens in other Eastern fandom spaces. Like, does it also happen in Korea or Japan or Thailand? Because right now I'm only talking about like Chinese fandom spaces. So like, I don't really know what goes on in the other places, you know? Like, I feel like it would be the same or more similar. I could be very wrong. So please let me know because I'm genuinely very interested to know about that. Reposting is a huge issue in Western fandom. The amount of selective illiterate people is wild because an artist will have a massive do not repost watermark in every artwork in their bio, and some people just close their eyes and repost anyways because apparently they don't know how to read. Even when an artist says do not repost without permission, all they need to do is ask, and they still don't ask and then just repost it anyways. And then when people come for them and when the artist is like, hey, can you take it down, they just say some bullshit like, well, no, you just posted it, so it's public property now. Are you insane? Are you ill? The level of entitlement is crazy.
Are you sick in the mind? Are you that mentally enslaved and intellectually subservient and intellectually molested and ideologically molested?
So I was really shocked and pleasantly surprised to know that Chinese fans usually don't repost. Like when it comes to like artwork and fan art, they actually listen to when the artist tells them not to repost. Of course, there are cases where reposting still happens along with people reselling their artwork or tracing as well. But like specifically reposting like artwork in like fandom spaces, apparently it's not like a massive issue because like artists in Western fandom spaces, they've experienced that shit so many times, regardless of the size of their account, whether they have 10k followers or like 1,000 followers, they've experienced a reposting issue. So it's nice to hear that this problem isn't that big in Chinese fandom spaces, and I hope it stays that way because people love artist work but they hate the artist. Like y'all will be drooling, eyes crossed, mouth hanging open over a drawing that this one artist drew of like shirtless Gojo and Geto together. And then when the artist tells you like, hey, can you not be like reposting this everywhere? And you're like, oh my God, no, we're going to do what we want. And then they decide to just delete their entire account. You're shocked. You're confused. Oh my God, why? Why would they delete their account? It's like we've been harassing them this whole time. Like a while ago, maybe a year or two ago, I heard about this Japanese artist who started writing do not repost in English because so many Western fans would just be reposting their work without permission. That's embarrassing. It's not that difficult to respect artists. For that Japanese artist, that must have been kind of like a culture shock moment because they probably are not, well, definitely were not used to people just disrespecting their artwork and not listening to their very simple request of not reposting their work, you know? That they literally had to use a whole different language. They had to write it in English so that these people can understand. Don't do that, please. Anyways, let me move on because I'm getting mad and I'm starting to ramble. For anyone that didn't know, China is a very censored country. While I was there, I had to use a VPN to access every Google platform. So Gmail, Google Drive, Google itself, YouTube, Netflix, Instagram, the list goes on. Even Wattpad and AO3 was blocked. I still remember the day Pinterest got blocked and I had to start using a VPN for that too. I know this was kind of like a random information dump, but like remember this because I'm going to bring it back up to make a hypothesis. Hashtag women in science. Now moving forward, y'all know the term pro shippers, right? If y'all are clutching your purses over pro shippers, I promise you wouldn't last a day in Eastern fandom spaces. I'm jumping ahead. Let's start with teaching a new vocabulary. Pro shipper, a term that I first heard around 2019, but has definitely existed before that. But only in the recent years is this term being used by everyone and their mothers. Being a pro shipper means that you are under the belief that no one should be harassed, doxxed, or sent death threats over fictional content. The term is misunderstood and misused to mean someone that only ships wild things, but you can still have the most vanilla SFW ships and still be a pro shipper because you are a normal person that doesn't tell people to go jump off a building because they're shipping two characters with 3-year age gap. So by the original definition, everyone should be a pro shipper because essentially what it means is you stay over there and ship what you want. I'll stay over here and ship what I want. This is all fictional. I'm just here to have a good time. That's it. Isn't it fascinating that a term like this has to exist in the first place? I'm going to go on a quick rant because this isn't very related to the video. But like the whole pro shipper versus anti situation is very insane to me. Imagine how many people had to deal with the harassment and threat to their lives for people to be like, hey, let's not do that. I promise you, Megumi isn't going to come and personally thank you for telling user Lovergirl69 to go Control-Alt-Delete herself because she shipped him with Sukuna. Anyways, the people that lose your mind over an age gap ship or whatever would piss themselves if they catch sight of what's going on in Eastern fandom spaces. And I believe it's not just Chinese fans. From what I've seen online and in Eastern fandom spaces, this whole pro shipper versus anti discourse isn't really a thing either. People do what they want and no one bats an eye. I know this is very true for Japanese fans as well, probably Korean and Thai fans as well. Cause like some of the things I've seen on the other side, wow. Wow, not for the weak of heart. And I must say, I eat that shit up every time. Itadakimasu, let's go. Tell me why my friend from Hong Kong was telling me about this original story she read that got popular from how batshit crazy it was. Because even to them, it wasn't normal. Basically, right? It was like a BL original manhwa, and the top had 3. Yeah, he had 3 of them, and they were massive. And then him and his the bottom, the 0, they're doing it, and the bottom dies, but not from what you think he dies, because they fell through the ground. They were like on the 2nd floor in the bedroom. They were going too hard. The floor concaved beneath them and they fell, and the bottom died, and the top was grieving, so he cut off the 3, and then buried it with the bottom. What? What? Like, what kind of life do you need to go through where you come up with that idea and decide to draw every single panel of it? Like, unfortunately, I haven't read it. I really want to see this. I want to read it. I want to see I want to see what it looks like, because I bet you the art is stellar. I can assure you right now, bet money, the art style probably amazing, because it's always the most unhinged concepts that have the best artists behind them. And I desperately want to find this comic and read it for myself, even though I can't understand Cantonese or Mandarin or whatever language it's in. And then one of my other Chinese friends was telling me about a fan fiction she read about one of her ships, where they made person A's dad marry person B. So it was like a stepson and stepmom, but like the mom was still a man. I had to take a few moments to pause and die from laughing, because what? Like, I won't lie, it's not the first time that I've come across the whole stepmom, stepson, stepdad, whatever concept before, and that's probably an insane thing to say, but like, what made it funnier was who the ship was. And I'm not gonna say what the ship was, because I don't want to go there, it's too far, but like, what the ship was is what made it even funnier. Like, who the ship was about is what made it hilarious. And then there's this one manhwa from a Korean author I read. I forgot the name, but it's like based off of Egyptian gods and goddesses, and well, let's just say it's very family orientated. Now for my hypothesis. This is just in regards to the Chinese fans. I don't know about the other countries, but because everything in China is so censored, I feel like they go above and beyond with like the stories and the fan art, the whole phenomenon of wanting to do something even more after someone tells you you're not allowed to do it. Maybe it's kind of like that, because everything is so censored and so caged in and so like, protected or whatever. People are just like, they have the urge to go even further and be like, don't tell me what to do, and they do even crazier things. Perhaps it's something like that. I have no idea. I'm just saying shit. I have no research to back this up. This is merely a hypothesis. So if someone else wants to go and do the whole research behind that, feel free. It's really funny because when I tell my Chinese friends about these arguments of you ship said unhinged thing, therefore you do / agree with said unhinged thing in real life, that's happening too often in Western fandom spaces, she stopped drinking her iced tea and stared at me as my words processed in her brain. You're joking. Unfortunately for her, I was not. I have been called names for shipping Naruto and Sasuke. Come on, Naruto and Sasuke have people saying I like incest ships. What? Apparently, Naruto and Sasuke now equals incest. Why would I take anything these people say seriously then? Almost all the artists I follow from Eastern fandom spaces draw the most beautifully unhinged drawings. There's an artist I follow who I just found out deleted her account. I don't even know why, but I'm very sad about it. I'm still grieving about this loss of this beautiful art. But anyway, she draws like Kageyama x Sasuke x Hinata x Naruto, or Zenitsu x Sasuke, or Tanjiro x Todoroki, all sorts of combos from mainly Demon Slayer, Haikyuu, and My Hero Academia. her anatomy game is crazy. Like, I used to just copy her drawings. I never posted it, but I used to just copy her drawings just to practice my anatomy. It was insane. Because it was like, it's 4 people in one scene. Her creativity with positioning was wow. Another artist I follow draws Minato x Kakashi, and another one draws Shisui and Itachi. And sometimes they throw Sasuke in there in the middle as like a surprise attack, you know? And when I look at the comments, you know what I see? People not telling them that they don't deserve to live or that they're scum of the earth. Instead, it's people commenting spams of heart emojis and eggplant emojis, you know, like a normal person. You know why? Because it's not real. None of this is real. Itachi isn't a real person. They're all anime characters. They're all fake. Like, to me, the economy isn't real either. Like, inflation isn't real. It's real, but it's not. I don't know if this is like a fair comparison, but basically, right, the economy was a man-made thing. The economy is man-made. Humans made this shit up one day. We're just like, you know what would be really cool if we use money or this piece of paper as like a means for trading and whatnot. Like, we made that shit up. We saw this paper, wrote the number 10 on it, and gave it value. Humans made it up. So why is inflation happening? Fix it. You made this problem yourself. Fix it. You know? So I'm too busy trying to understand what the hell the economy is. I can't be bothered by someone who's on the other side of the planet that's shipping Sasuke and Itachi. Unfortunately, I don't care. Unfortunately, you know? Because I'm trying to live. I'm trying to survive in this economy right now because things are increasing in prices and I don't understand why that's happening because it's not real. It can't be real. Because we made it up. Human beings made it up. I don't understand why it can't be fixed. We gave value to money. If I pick up my phone and suddenly it's like at the moment, this phone is worth like $2,000 or whatever. And then one day someone can just decide, scratch that. It's worth $500 now. It's the same phone. It does the same thing, but now it's worth less because you made it up. It's not real. So my brain is too busy dealing with these feelings and these thoughts. Why would I care about some random user who I've never met and probably will never meet in my life that's shipping Kakashi and Naruto? I don't care. I really don't. This cost of living crisis is getting to me, clearly. Essentially, back on topic because I went way off. Whole different tangent. Anyways, essentially in Eastern fandom spaces, and I've seen other artists talk about this too, it seems that it's a lot safer there. Fans can ship whatever illegal ship they want without fear of getting doxxed. And I say illegal in quotations because unfortunately you cannot take me to court for shipping Hawks and Endeavor. Now, what I find really funny is that while fans don't care about what kind of dynamic or twist you put on the ships, again, steps on stepdad, they do care about the placement of the ships, and they take that very seriously. And by placement, I do mean top and bottom discourse. I know, I thought that would be the last thing they cared about, but no, it's very serious for them. Okay, so my idea for the fanfiction is to have them be step-siblings. Only step-siblings? Just make them blood-related. Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking to make them have like a 5-year age gap, and only 5 years? I would have done 10. Alright, well, anyways, so character B is gonna be the top end. Are you fucking crazy? Character B can't even top a bunk bed. Only A can be the top. Then they proceed to block you for disagreeing with them with who catches versus receives in the bedroom, which granted is a much better way to deal with that than doxing. I have this other Chinese friend who really loves Bakudeku, and she's a top Bakugo girly, which like low-key same. And I just find it hilarious that like she likes reading Hurt No Comfort, Angst No Happy Ending, Major Character Death. Like she likes when either Bakugo or Midoriya dies in a fanfiction. But then, if I were to pull up with a fan art of Midoriya giving Bakugo that Delaware smash pipe, she'll spit in my face. I'm just playing. She would actually do that. But she'll like scrunch up her face and shake her head in disagreement and tell me to never disrespect her or Bakudeku like that again. On a slightly similar note, it comes across to me as if like multi-shipping may not be as common. Because for me, multi-shipping isn't just having like different ships in the same fandom. So it's not like shipping Kagehina, Bokuwaka, etc. But it's more like shipping one character with multiple different characters. So Iwaoi, Ushioi, Oikage, etc. Or all four at the same time. And what's stopping you? So it seems more like they have their one ship from a particular show that's very special to them and very dear to their heart, and they take it very seriously of who's catching and who's receiving, you know, not a lot of switch characters, I guess. I don't know. I could be wrong. In Western fandom, I know for a fact that top and bottom Discord is also a pretty big deal. I just didn't expect it to be that important for the Chinese fans too. Like, the way my friend talked about it was just really funny. Because, like, this was directly after she told me about that, like, stepson, stepmom fanfiction that she read about. So then having, like, this very serious conversation about, like, who tops and who bottoms was just jarring, but funny. Yeah. So to summarize, Eastern fans do whatever they want and no one cares, because majority understand that what you ship doesn't determine your moral compass. Until you make Bakugo a little bomb bitch, then all hell breaks loose. I'm sure there are other differences and similarities within Western and Eastern fandom. This isn't like a proper deep dive video, cause like I'm sick and I have uni and I'm tired and I don't have time for research because I need to be researching for my essay right now that I am avoiding. These are just some findings from conversations that I have with my Chinese friends and from the small amount of time that I've spent roaming around Chinese and Japanese fandom spaces. Also, don't forget to keep boycotting these brands, okay? Boycotting isn't just a one weekend activity, okay? Prepare to never buy or eat from them for years to come. Okay, thank you, bye-bye. Anyways, thanks for watching this video if you made it all the way up to this point. Hopefully by the next video, I will no longer be ill and will no longer be hackling in your ears and whatnot. Did you notice these differences in Western and Eastern fandom spaces before? What other differences are there that I didn't mention? I'm very curious to know more. So if you do know more, or you just, I don't know, agree or disagree, just comment, please. Thank you. Like this video if you like it if you didn't. Subscribe for more. I'm gonna go take a nap. Bye.